Welcome back to Gamecock Extra. I'm Chandler Mack, Locked On Gamecock podcast host Andrew Lyon, joining us via Zoom. Andrew, Gamecocks take on Tennessee this weekend, and we all know what happened last year, but Shane Beamer and his team said it Tuesday. That 60 piece is in the past. Their focus is on Saturday, and in my opinion, Andrew, that's the right mindset to have. Tennessee is 3-1 this season and are a bad second quarter against Florida away from being undefeated. When we look at the Gamecock offense versus the Tennessee defense, my biggest question, Andrew, is which Gamecock offensive line are we going to get? They have given up just 8 sacks over the past 3 games after allowing 9 in week 1 and helped USC run for a season-high 144 yards against Mississippi State. How likely is it that the O-line can have similar success against a Tennessee defense that leads the SEC in sacks and is giving up the second fewest yards per carry in the conference?
Yeah, Chandler, I think there is a chance for success, but it's certainly going to be a challenge. Obviously, going into Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, it is known as one of the most raucous home field environments in all of college football. But in terms of the ground game itself, I think that last week was very much needed for this football team. I know that maybe some people didn't understand why South Carolina tried to run the ball so much. I think this coaching staff made it clear that they wanted to establish a ground game. They saw some success against Mississippi State, and Mario Anderson Jr. was a big reason for that. Gets a lot of yards after contact. And I think that this offensive line, they showed signs of progress in terms of giving these running backs a better chance for success. Tennessee, statistically, as you mentioned, they are definitely one of the best defenses in the country right now. At the same time, they've not faced the kind of competition that South Carolina has. So I definitely think that there will be some chances for that Gamecock ground attack on Saturday night.
Yeah, Andrew, you mentioned the Gamecocks establishing the run 47 carries against Mississippi State. I don't think they're going to do that against Tennessee, but like you mentioned, they made sure, hey, we are going to get this ground game going. Well, Andrew, let's shift gears to the other side of the ball now. The Gamecock defense entered the Mississippi State game giving up 145 rushing yards per game, but they gave up a season-low 32 yards versus the Bulldogs, and that's a good thing. That's momentum, right? Because Tennessee is coming in averaging a SEC best 230 yards per game on the ground, and to me, Andrew, this will decide the game. Who do you think has the advantage? The Gamecock front 7 or Tennessee's offensive line?
Chandler, I think that South Carolina's front 7 has a great opportunity here against Tennessee. I went back and watched some of the footage from the Florida game, and the thing that I noticed is that Tennessee's interior offensive line, they struggled to get some push up front on some of those running plays against that Gator defense. South Carolina's defensive front, I think, has done a pretty good job, at least over the past couple weeks in terms of rush defense. You look at Alex Bookie Huntley and TJ Sanders, both being named the SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week each of the last 2 weeks, and South Carolina's linebacker core, Stone Bland and Debo Williams, with the way that those guys' skill sets are sort of molded, I think that this is the kind of game that fits both of those guys' play styles, being able to run downhill, fill in gaps, and try to create disruption at the line of scrimmage. So I think that South Carolina, they got a good chance to maybe put Tennessee behind the sticks or keep them around the sticks on early downs and force Joe Milton to have to make a lot of throws on second and third and long on Saturday night. And I agree with you, that is going to be key. If South Carolina can do that, they'll give themselves a chance to exit Knoxville with a W.